Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live talk session with GETI, or Global Education and Training Institute, under the hashtag Disruptive Education Movement, initiated by Dr. Sunita Gandhi. And today, in this another session of evening, we have Miss Kiran Tiwari with us, who is associated with Navrachna Senior Secondary School as an activity coordinator. She has been contributing into this profession for more than 25 years, and her journey from a teacher to a creative director to an activity coordinator shows her zeal and passion towards exploring. Well, Ma'am Kiran has worked for various international schools, awards projects, and has currently won regional teaching and competition award. Her bent towards creativity and innovation has opened platforms for her to train students for various competition and stage presentations. And today she will be talking about classroom management strategies. A very warm welcome to you ma'am, on this platform of Getty, and the viewers are all yours. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Preena, for those kind words. A very good evening to all who have joined on this virtual platform, and I'm sincerely grateful to Global Education and Training Institute to have invited me to give a talk on classroom management strategies. It is perhaps the most important key to effective teaching learning process to happen in the class. So please give me a minute. I will be sharing my presentation with you all. Here I am. So classroom management strategies. Before we enter a classroom, it's very important as teachers for us to have our objectives clear. So before this session begins, I would like you all to run through my objectives of the session. First, I'm going to do an activity with you all, virtual, of course, but it's going to be a wonderful activity. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. What is classroom management? It's very important as teachers for us to know that. What is classroom management and why is it important? Then we run on to the activity 2, challenges of classroom management. I'm sure we all go through a lot of challenges to manage a classroom. Classroom management strategies, for which I'm here. I'll be sharing those strategies. Then another activity and a leap into from offline to online. Let's see how the session goes on. I'm sure we are going to have a purposeful learning. It's time to brainstorm. Our activity 1 is, what is classroom management? I want a marathon to happen in my chat section. I request everyone present to please share what is classroom management according to you. Yes. I request everyone to share what is classroom management. Preena, could you read a few responses for me?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm still waiting for them to post their comments in the comment section.
Yes. The classroom management strategies which I'm going to share today are going to be applicable both for the junior and the senior section. Of course, we implement it in a different way for different levels. But the key to effective teaching learning process is, of course, classroom management. Okay.
Well, we have one comment. It's a way to have a great class transaction.
Okay, that's a wonderful response. It's a way to have. Okay, very good. So moving on to what classroom management basically is.
Ma'am, we have another comment. Can you see it on the screen?
I can't see it on the screen. Preena, could you please read it?
It says classroom management. Yeah, classroom management means a variety of skills used by teachers to keep the students organized.
Oh, that response deserves a clap. Very
Okay, we
good.
have
So
another
how?
comment.
Yeah,
Effective
repeat.
teaching and learning process.
Absolutely, bang on. That's the right way of thinking when we are talking about classroom management. Any other, Preena? Or should we move on?
Well, I'm still waiting, but thanks to Nupur Sain, ma'am, and Miss Anisa and Suchitra, ma'am, for responding. Let's make it more interactive. I would request everyone to please post it in the comment
Yes,
section.
I wanted to see a marathon of, because we have the entire fraternity of teachers out here. Let us give our response as to what is classroom management according to you, because this is the
Okay,
platform where we can interact.
right.
Yes,
We have another response from Miss Anita. The strategy is to encourage students to become active learners.
wow. So that's a wonderful response. So, moving on to basically what is classroom management. So, classroom management deals with effective discipline, and the effective discipline is dependent on preparedness for the class. How much is the teacher prepared for the class? How is the teacher going to foster student involvement and cooperation in all classroom activities? Then motivating your students means providing safe, comfortable learning environment to the students, building your students self-esteem. How do I build the student self-esteem? If the student is able to interact in the class, if the student is encouraged by the teacher to share his thoughts and opinion, then the child's self-esteem will automatically develop. Then establishing a productive working environment. So the classroom management has to have these key elements, that so that the environment is productive. And the last but the most important point for a teacher is be creative and imaginative. So we may have gone into the class with a particular set of plan to execute. But when we are in the class, it's very important that we start becoming creative and imaginative, and we are impromptu in it. So if a child stands up and gives an idea which is bizarre according to you as per the content which you are about to share, it is still important to bring that idea, to nurture that idea into the classroom content which you are sharing. That way you will build the child's self-esteem and also help the child to remain creative. Why is classroom management important? It is very important for us to know why is classroom management important. And while I asked you all what is classroom management, you did answer the smooth transaction which happens in the class. For that, classroom management is important. I have two important pointers for that. The first one is classroom management and effective instructions are key in ensuring student success and learning. The second one, I'm sorry, student success and learning. Satisfaction and enjoyment in teaching are dependent upon leading students to cooperate and interact. So when we give them an environment which is, conducive for them to interact, automatically a sense of satisfaction and enjoyment is there, and we come out as accomplished teachers at that point in time. Activity 2 is right here. It's time for another marathon. Enlist the challenges faced in classroom management. I request teachers who are on board to please share the challenges they face in the classroom. I'm sure we are teaching in different schools. We may be having different problems, different challenges in managing the classroom. Children who do not understand certain things, who don't want to listen. So please share your challenges. Reena, has the marathon begun? Have
Yes,
I
the
gone?
first one is dominating students.
Okay. So that you have students who dominate, right?
Yes. Then we have catering to individual difference. That's the another comment.
Difficult in this scenario where we have 36 to 38 students. It's difficult in these scenarios.
Okay, here we have another interesting one. Hearing the teacher, not listening.
Very good. Listening is attentive hearing of what the teacher is saying. Being attentively listening is important. Otherwise, you set the class into a chaos.
Right. Getting all different minds together. That's another comment from
Very, very.
Raina. And to make students participative 100%.
Yes, it is difficult to encourage each and every child in the classroom to be participating. It is definitely a challenge. I agree to
Talkative,
it.
yeah, talkative and restless children.
Yes, there are many in this scenario where children are all exposed to Google. They already know what the teacher is going to teach, so it's very
Hmm.
difficult to keep them, captivated in the class in terms of the content. So it's a challenge for the teachers today.
Indifference and short attention span by Mr. Pranjal Joshi.
Yes, therefore a very good response by Pranjal ma'am, and I'm sure when I go on to my presentation, you will come to know how we can cater to this short span children who have short span of concentration.
So we have comments bombarding in our comment section with distracted students as a comment. Then we have gifted and slow learners,
Absolutely.
being attentive to the attention seeking children.
Yes, that's a major challenge because children who know a lot want to take the steal the show in the class.
Right.
There. Okay. So moving on to a few things I feel, and we will all agree to are the classroom management challenges which we face in the class. Disobedience. The child just doesn't want to listen to us. Lack of understanding. Sometimes the children don't understand, so they keep talking to each other because they're not able to comprehend what the teacher is speaking. Irresponsible behavior, out of turn talking, disrespect towards peers and teachers. When another friend of his is talking, he jumps onto to answer. Noise in the class, making throwing the pencil down, picking it up, moving the chairs, disrupting the class in terms of speaking out of turn. Dominant students, somebody had very beautifully brought out that point. Dominant students and quiet students. So there are students who are very quiet and there are students who are very dominant. How to manage as a teacher, how to ensure that these quiet students also start speaking. Inattentive students are students, some few of them are the ones who know a lot, few of them are the ones who have emotional and psychological problems. So here a teacher's role is very, very important. Most of the time if the child is not attentive, we tend to chide him, we tend to scold him and tell him that why aren't you paying attention, please pay attention to what I am telling you, or ask him questions to keep him alert. We have to understand at this point in time as teachers the preparedness to understand why a particular child is inattentive or regularly inattentive in class is very, very important. Maybe both the parents are working parents, the child is going through emotional trauma. Maybe the child is being pushed in the class in terms of being suppressed, he's not able to answer. So the child is going through psychological problems in the class. So here the classroom management challenges are very, very important to be taken care of, and that's how we need to have strategies to manage the um, classroom. Now, coming on to classroom management strategies. Now, these seem to be six strategies, but this encapsulates, it's an encompassing pointers for us, all of us, that if we are able to apply these at different levels in our own way, as per the number of children we have, as per the time period we have, as per our session, I'm sure your classroom is going to be well managed, and I'm sure we are going to come out as accomplished teachers whenever we leave a class. So classroom rules, coming on to classroom rules. I'm sure you must be making a lot of classroom rules, but there are rules for making rules, and I am here with those rules. The rules for making rules. So when we are told by our section head or by our principal to have rules in the class, we have a whole list of rules on the board. So it is very important that when we are making the rules, we stick to certain rules ourselves. And that is, keep the number of rules to minimum approximately 5, keep the language simple, keep the rules that represent your basic expectations. So what do you want? So you want the children to be seated upright when you come to the class, so you should have that rule. It should not keep changing, that today you told the children to do this and tomorrow you want the children to do that. Children will get confused. The classroom will go, classroom management will go for a toss. Keeping the wording positive. Keep your rules specific. Keep your rules that describes observable behavior. Here, when I'm talking about observable behavior, I'm talking about things wherein the body language is to be taken care of. Then we come to classroom rules further. Make your rules describe behavior that is measurable. So when I am with observable, if I'm making my rules measurable, that every session you are allowed to speak twice, then you will see that children will not speak out of turn, because they know that if I've spoken twice, I won't get a third chance. So I better talk when it is required. So you are actually helping the child talk purposefully, and make use of his communication in the right way. Assigning consequences to breaking the rules. Now, when I say consequences, I'm not talking about punishment. I'm talking about positive reinforcement. How do I do that? I may, for example, I may tell the child who has broken a particular rule to tell him to make 2 rules and ensure that the entire class follows it. Now, when he is given that responsibility, now this is the rule you have to make. He makes the rule and he will ensure that the class follows it. So, giving them positive reinforcement. Then keep the rules posted. So whether we are in the online class or offline class, we must repeat the rules once in a while, and we should keep it posted so that the children know that these are the rules I need to follow. And as I've written in my last pointer, consider having rules read out daily for first 2 weeks, then periodically. Now, I have a few examples for you. Regular rules which we have are, we tell the children, be responsible, pay attention in the class, do your best, be kind to others, respect elders, be polite. These are regularly we share with the children. Preferred rules. What kind of rules should we prefer? Keep hands, feet, and objects to yourself. Raise your hand and wait for permission to speak. Sit in your seat unless you have permission to leave it. Walk, don't run at all times in the classroom. So these are specific rules. These should be the preferred rules as teacher. So that when we have shared with the children that this is what I am expecting as a teacher in the class, then they tend to be clear about it and they tend to follow it in a better way. Attention signals. If you have your attention signals in the classroom, half your class is managed. I'm going to share a few with them. I'm sure you must have read them, but it's very important that I get into the class and I say, give me 5. When I say give me 5, the children know that ma'am is expecting the eyes on the speaker, mouth is quiet, so I don't keep saying something or the other. Ears are listening, hands are free, and body is still. So I'm not fidgeting with things. So whenever during the class also, if I just do this, if I just signal this, children know that the teacher is asking me to follow these 5 points. And here I would like to share. I had attended a workshop where very beautifully the resource person dealing with teachers all discussing things, whatever point or whatever activity she was giving us, we were all into the discussion, while another group, a group leader used to stand and speak, and still everyone was discussing. So she used to say, track the speaker. So when we say track the speaker, everyone's head used to go towards the speaker. So these are small things which we can do, which will help us manage the classroom well. Coming on to the usage of these 5 fingers, may I use the bathroom please, for 2 fingers when I show 2 fingers. I have a question or need help, then I show my hand. I understand the topic. So many a times when we say, have you understood, children? Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. No, ma'am. Instead, if you just give them, you have to just give a thumbs up. I don't understand the topic. So the child just does this, and you understand that you have to repeat it instead of, five different voices coming out and saying that they have not understood, or they have understood this, or they have not understood this. I understand the topic. So my hand is down. I understand the topic a little and would like help. So you know that this particular child or these few children need help. So during a free period or during recess, if you want, you can tell these children to come and meet you, and you can explain the particular concept or particular topic again. So these are, small things which we can do in the class, which will help the class to be better managed. And you will find, joy in teaching. That's very important for a teacher, to have the joy of teaching what you are going for in the class. When I'm talking about discipline, with those attention signals and the classroom rules, the discipline is going to be taken care of to a great extent. But how do I further delve into it is very important. So discipline with the body, not the mouth. Most of us will see that in the next door class, the class is absolutely quiet and well disciplined, while we are screaming at the top of our voice, trying to discipline the class. And we have heard comments saying that, ma'am, this class is very naughty, this class is very disobedient, they just don't listen. So those kind of comments can be taken care of by we as teachers, because all the children are different, friends. All of them are different. All of them need to be handled with care and handled in a different manner. But if the school, if the entire class makes the rules which they want to follow, and they are going to follow, and if the teacher is able to motivate the children enough to do that, your job is done. So here, a few things for the teacher: excuse yourself from what you are doing. So when the child is speaking, you excuse yourself. If you need to do something, you excuse yourself. You just don't walk out of the class without excusing yourself. The children are dangling, they don't know what to do because you've just walked out. Perhaps you have a chore to finish and you've been called by someone and you walk out of the class. Please don't do that. You are going to ruin the management which you have just done, say 10 minutes back. Relax. Teachers need to be relaxed. Take a slow, relaxing breath and calmly approach the student with a meaningful look. I still remember when I was in school, there was this teacher of mine called Mrs. Law. And whenever she used to enter the class, she used to give a glance, she used to give a look at me. And when she used to look at me, I used to feel so happy and so wanted in the class. Though I was not sitting in the front bench, but the very look of hers was so beautiful for me. So it used to make my day. Please understand your look, your smile can make wonders. Face the student directly and calmly wait for a response. So when the child is talking to you, don't keep looking here and there. Look at the child, acknowledge what the child wants to say, and wait for a response. So when you want to say something, wait for a response. Don't barge onto the children. If there is no response, whisper. Now, when I say whisper over here, I don't mean to say you have to do it in the literal sense, but don't scream or speak loudly. Okay, so we tend to, like, when I want that child's attention, we tend to call out that child's name loudly, and the child might get intimidated. The child might feel bad. So we have to respect that child. And when I have to respect the child, I need to know that I will call the first name of the child and follow with what you want the student to do, ending with please. Again, here, relax and wait. So here the mantra for us is relax and wait, be calm. As teachers, if we have patience, if we have calmness, we will be able to transact our class effectively. If the student does not get to work, again relax and wait. Repeat step 4 if necessary. So what is step 4? Step 4 is call out the student's name and ask him to do what you want him to do. Very, very important for us. So I'm sure this is going to help us when we are saying the discipline with the body, not the mouth, is very important for teachers. Coming on to classroom schedule. The school has its own schedule: sports period, recess, social studies period, reading period, art class. But are we having our own schedule? is very important. So we go with a lesson plan, introduction, content, that is explanation, and then the recap. Now I'm going to share a short uh, discussion on what how do we have our classroom schedule. So budget your academic time. We are always told when you budget your time is used productively. So 5 minutes for student expression time and teachers review of the previous session. So 5 minutes, why am I saying that student expression time? The art class has just finished, or suppose the maths class has just finished, and the children are in that same mood. If you just enter and you start off with your class, the children are not prepared mentally. So you need to ensure that children are able to say, ma'am, my maths class, I got all the four sums right. I got the math wizard today and I got 10 out of 10. Or in spellings, I got 20 out of 20. Let the child express. That noise which happens is useful noise. Believe me, you will enjoy the rest of the period if you have been able to let the children make that noise. And then you review about what you did in the previous session. 5 minutes of introduction of new concepts. Any new concept you've got, 5 to 7 minutes you can take. I have just given my own duration of time. You can of course improvise on it as per your content. Explanation and discussion. 10 minutes doing exercises with the children working on assignments, and 10-minute teacher-student interaction and teacher-directed correction. So if you have scheduled, you budgeted your time well, then your time is going to be definitely beautifully utilized in class. Classroom routines and procedures. Now, when we setting up the classroom routines and procedures, these may seem to be too many things to do, but when we are having all this in place, the classroom management automatically works well. We come to the routine. Routine is the beginning. So when we are into the class, we should have our goal clear. Students will feel welcome and will immediately go to their seats and start on a productive task. That should be my goal. So I should know the beginning of my class. If I do not know how I'm going to begin and I'm into something and I just rushed into the class, I am not going to make a difference in the class. So very important that I greet the students at the door, have a task prepared for students to work on as they sit down. Do your housekeeping. Another very important aspect, because I've seen the classroom is stuffy, the teacher has entered the class perhaps from some other work and has not got the windows open, the children are not attentive because the fan is not working or one area of the light is not switched on. Please ensure this housekeeping is done, nothing is on the desk. The way you want the class, do that housekeeping. Keep tasks short, 3 to 5 minutes. So don't prolong the task. For 10 minutes, you told the children to write something and they are writing and you are doing your own work, or perhaps you are doing something which is very important and you are not attending to the class. Don't do that. When you finished, address the task. Many a times we have seen that we've given the work to the children and we don't address it. So take a few children, you take the responses of a few children. If you take the responses of a few children, then they tend to understand that, okay, this task was given to us for a purpose and we needed to do it. This was the beginning. So when we talk about classroom routine and procedure, the beginning should be properly set, goal oriented, and therefore we set the class going. We come to end of the day or end of the class. Your procedures for ending the day of class, which should be ensure that students will not leave the classroom before they have organized their own materials and completed any necessary cleanup tasks. Ensure that you have enough time to give students both positive and corrective feedback and to set a positive tone for ending the class. Now here I want your input. How many of you feel that the previous teacher, you enter the class and you feel that the previous teacher had not wrapped up things because of which you wasted a lot of time? I want a response from all teachers in this virtual platform to tell me how many of you feel that sometimes when you enter the class is not set, the tone is not set, and you need to do a lot of work. So I am waiting for responses. Preena is going to help me now and let me know. How many of you feel that it happens sometimes by us also and by our colleagues? And do you find it difficult to set the tone of your class?
Okay, let's wait for the responses.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sometimes. There's a response
Sometimes,
statement.
yes.
Sometimes it happens. Most of them with a sometimes, yes.
Sometimes, yes.
Yes.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes it does happen that we are, we have not been able to wrap up because of various reasons. But friends, over here, I would like to make this point that it is very important to wrap up the class. If you wrap up the class on a positive note and on a positive tone, then the next teacher who's going to enter the class finds it a little easier to settle the children. Because if they are all haphazard and they have just gone out for their art class with the English books spread all over the place or the science book spread all over the place, then when they come back from the art class, they might have misplaced stuff. They might not be in correct frame of mind because their pencil is not to be found. So these are small tips of classroom management, which perhaps we do take care, but sometimes we become negligent about it because it's a part and parcel of our process. But I would request you all that if you all want effective classroom management to happen, then please take care of these things. Going on to physical space. Now, this is something which is often shared whenever we attend workshops, whenever we are in training session. We hear teachers saying that, ma'am, what if there is a less space in the classroom? I am sure the pandemic has taught us to value whatever we have and make the best out of it. Here, I would like to reiterate the fact that maybe the classroom is small, maybe the furniture is bulky. How, as a teacher, I can make it effective for my classroom management is my job. So, if I have physical space, how do I work it out is very, very important. And I would like to share a few points on it. Make sure you have access to all parts of the room. So when you are getting your tables and chairs arranged, arrange it in such a way that you can walk down to the end of the class. It should not be arranged in a fancy manner, yet you are not able to reach to the child. So if the child has raised his hand and wants to show something in the notebook, you are not able to read. So please ensure that the classroom is arranged in that manner. Feel free to assign seats and change at will. So if you have, why we are saying that use the physical space in a proper manner, that there are some children who are disobedient. There may be some children who don't want to listen. There are some children who are not attentive. You can bring them and make them sit in front so that you can monitor them well. And when you are monitoring them, then your classroom is automatically managed. Minimize the disruptions caused due to infrastructural limitations. As I already said, that there may be infrastructural limitations, but how do I minimize it? So suppose I am arranging the class in a row. Okay, the child who is right against the wall, sitting near the wall, she has to come out if she has to go to the washroom or if she has to write something on the board. So she will be disturbing 2 or 3 children. So try and space out in a manner where the child does not create a lot of noise while coming out. Arrange to devote some of your bulletin board display space to student work. So we have the bulletin board, we have a lot of information, a lot of charts going up, and children do a lot of things, but then you will see only a handful of children are doing those things. We should have a student space and we should encourage children that this is your space, a sense of belongingness to the children. You know, the children should start feeling, okay, this is my space. I can put, if I have done a crossword, I'll put it there. If I have done a Scrabble, I'll put it there. If I have learned a new word, I'll put it there. Give them that feeling, and that space will be automatically managed. If needed, arrange for a timeout space in your classroom. If you feel that you need space, then you can arrange for a timeout space in the classroom. Desks do not have to be in traditional rows, but all chairs should face forward so that all eyes are focused on the teacher. Again, this is something which is very important to be dealt with. Is like sometimes when we arrange the class in a U shape kind of a thing, and children, I have heard teachers saying, and we have also faced the same problem, that at times the child finds it difficult to write, look from the board and write. So you as teachers, you are well planned. You know the days when you are going to do a lot of writing work with them. Those days you arrange your physical space according to your need, requirement, and the days when you want them to look at you and read, or stand up and read, or recite a poem, or come and do something on the board. Suppose you're doing map work, you're an SS teacher and you're doing a map work, and you want the child from the back to come and point. So if you have arranged the space in such a way that the child can walk freely up to the board, then you are making use of the physical space, and you yourself as a teacher is breaking the limitation which you felt you had through the infrastructural space. Coming on to the activity 3, and who is an effective teacher? I'm sure we all can vouch that we are all effective teachers, but there are certain qualities which we can reflect upon as effective teacher. Am I an effective teacher? Do I have these qualities? Am I able to manage the classroom routines and procedures? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? When I enter the class, do I come back, come out of the class accomplished, a feeling of happiness, joy, that yes, I have taken my session well, is very, very important. So who is an effective teacher? And the third marathon should begin. I'm sure teachers all here, the eyes are rolling on the question, who is an effective teacher? Let's see
Begin.
the responses. Trina,
I am still waiting for the answers, for the responses.
I'm also waiting because I'm sure all the teachers out here are effective teachers because they are keen learners. They are here on this virtual platform to learn about classroom management strategies. I'm sure a big thumbs up to them, and I'm grateful to them for joining and encouraging me. Have we got responses?
Yes, here we have few answers. Like an effective teacher is patient and has positive attitude.
Very good.
By Miss Anisha. Then we have the effective teacher is a coach or guide who helps students to improve on their skills and insights.
Thumbs up to the response.
I missed one that says to build a rapport with the children.
To build a rapport with the children. Okay.
And then we have a response from Miss Sunita B. Teachers with positive attitude.
Wow. Yes, positive attitude is very, very important, no matter what.
Then we have an effective teacher is the one who reaches her objectives and leaves the classroom with happy, enlightened students.
Wow, she has given an all-encompassing answer.
Yes. Then we have effective teacher is the one who transact the content but leaves them inspired at the end.
Superb.
Students feel comfortable to ask queries, wait eagerly for her period, is an effective teacher. Wow. And then we have the one who engages students constructively.
Engages students constructively, positive attitude, approachable, very, very good. So we have got a lot of effective teachers on this platform today, right, Prina? So
Absolutely. A fun marathon. Superb, superb session.
okay, so I am going to share a few pointers of who an effective teacher is. So effective teacher is someone who enjoys teaching, embraces change, very, very important, spreads positivity, finds inspiration. So every time I should not be the one who's inspiring others. I should also find inspiration in the students. That is a very, very important quality which a teacher must have. Makes a difference. So you will see that there are teachers who are liked more than the others. So she has perhaps made a difference in the life of that particular child who likes that teacher more. Establishes good control of the classroom and affects and touches lives. So, as an effective teacher, it's very important to touch lives, having positive attitude, finding inspiration, and embracing change. I think is the most important. Has a goal. Now, coming to a little technical aspect of it, has a goal for striving for excellence. as a goal for striving for excellence is very important, is flexible and adaptable. So ready to change, adapts things at that point in time. It's not like that the teacher has gone with a particular lesson plan and wants to stick on to it only. Stick on to it, but how do you creatively and adopt what you are prepared with in the classroom at that point in time is very, very important. Knows how to design lessons for students creatively is the word out here. Works cooperatively. So she's not the one who's saying that I know everything and I'm going to teach everything. So then she is the one who is going to have passive listeners in front. She has to be a teacher who is ready to work cooperatively with the student, learns from colleagues. Very important. We must observe classes of our colleagues so that we take something home when we are attending their classes. Does things consistently. That's the key for anything. If you want anything to happen, it's very, very important that we do our work consistently. So today I have made a rule. 1 week the children have not followed it, I stop following it. I don't encourage the children to follow it also. I don't see the need of rethinking about my rules. I have just made it at the beginning of the year, and if the rules are followed, good. If the rules are not followed, good. If that is going to be my attitude, then I am certainly not one of those effective teachers which we are looking for. So very important, flexible, adaptability, positivity, designing lessons, finding inspiration in others, learning from colleagues, and working consistently. Please take this home. We have to be consistent in whatever we want to do. If we want a change in the classroom, if we want a change in a child, if we want a change to happen, it's only consistent efforts. Okay. Now, I'm just going to touch upon the offline and online. I'm sure a salute to all the teachers who have been able to come from offline to online in such a beautiful way. We must appreciate, and I take the opportunity of appreciating all the teachers who are working beautifully in the online classes on the virtual platform. It was a huge leap for so many of us who did not know technology, now know technology so beautifully. And this leap of the virtual classroom has definitely made wonders. And we are all striving for our own rules. We all make rules. It works. The next day we make other rules. It works. So, but there are a few of us who have been able to stick to certain rules, and they are still able to make the virtual classrooms a very productive session for themselves. And I am going to just touch upon a few of them for all of us. So be on time. As a teacher, it is very important that I am on time so I can ensure that the children are also on time. Act like you are in the school. So when I'm sitting upright, I'm as if in the school. If I am doing that, automatically in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, the child understands that this is what is expected of me. So I need to dress up. I have seen so many children in the class wearing school uniform and sitting. That's so beautiful. That shows the child's happiness to come to the school and come to the class. Sit in one spot during the class. So many a times we do have internet glitches. We try to move around to get the children. So it's very important that as a teacher we are prepared, well prepared in the class. Our internet is working well, and we sit in one spot. Keep yourself muted. Don't keep speaking all the time. Keep yourself muted. Wait. When your turn comes, speak, so the children also learn that the teacher was waiting while I was speaking, so I need to wait when the teacher is speaking. Turn on your video. If the teacher has not turned on the video, it's not right to be continuously telling the children to turn on the video. You have to role model yourself. So keep your video turned on. Raise your hand to talk. And when you keep emphasizing on it, you don't take up, when there are many things like I just spoke about consistently. There are many times we tell the children raise your hand to talk, but it so happens that a child has spoken out of turn and we just take that child's response. Then we ourselves, we are not following that rule. So when we don't follow the rule, one child, two children, three children, they start doing the same thing. So we need not do that kind of a thing. Listening is an important aspect. If I listen, I will help the children listen. No eating during, so I should not be sipping a cup of coffee or something, or just for an informal conversation. I shouldn't be doing things which when the child does, I am not able to stop. Because once in a while, if you are sipping a cup of coffee and you tell the children that today, my throat is not well, I am having a cup of coffee, you should explain to them why you are sipping a cup of coffee today, and it is not right, and I want to be excused for it. So the child starts feeling that it's an equal partnership going on. It's not that the teacher is the one who's setting rules and giving out to us, and we follow it while the teacher doesn't follow it. Have fun and do your best. Very, very important in a virtual classroom. There are certain things which I want all of us to ponder. When we ponder on these statements, we will be able to understand that, yeah, why do we need classroom management strategies? Why do we need classroom schedules? Why do we need classroom routines? Why do we need attention signals? All those things which I have just shared with you, the strategies, is very, very important. And for that, it's important for us to know you don't build your football team on the day of the game. Certainly not. You don't drill a well when you get thirsty. And you don't discuss procedures once an emergency has begun. We know all these things. Let us ponder upon it. Let us go back home today and find out, am I doing these things when I enter the class? What was shared in today's talk? Am I not taking care of one important pointer of what was shared? Is it because of that the classroom is not the class is not listening to me? What is it that I need to do? I need to implement so that my classroom management strategies, so my classroom management becomes better, and I am able to transact the content which I want the children to learn. It is very, very important, teachers and friends who are here on this platform, to understand that your classroom management is directly proportional to the teaching, learning happening in the class. So whether you've been able to teach well, whether your children have been able to learn well, is very, very important. And how do you manage it? How do you take care of it? By having your classroom management strategies bang on the place. So all the rules which you write, all the classroom routines which you make, you should be sure about it. It's that I have shared a lot of pointers. You may take just one or two of them. Work it in your plan. See how it works for you. Is it working for you or not? It may work in a different manner for senior students. It may work in a different manner for junior students. But it definitely works because students are, after all, students. Their desire to be inspired, their desire to love their teacher, their desire to express their opinion is the same. So in a senior class, they may express it in a different manner. In a junior class, they may express it in a different manner. A pat on the back, always welcome. A smile by the teacher, always welcome. You have done a good job. You followed the rules today. So let's go for a free play. All these things are very important. So let us go back home and ponder that, am I doing these things? Am I trying to build a football team on the day when I'm entering the class? Am I trying to drill the well when I'm thirsty? So I have to transact an important lesson and the children are not listening to me. Why is that situation coming? It is because I have not drilled the well in advance. When I have not drilled the well in advance, then of course I am at a loss. Very, very important question. As teachers, we need to ask. Don't ask what I am going to cover tomorrow. Do ask yourself, what are my students going to learn, achieve, and accomplish tomorrow? Very important question. Most of the time we say we need to cover this, we need to cover this much syllabus. So don't ask that. You have to ask yourself, what are my students going to learn, achieve, and accomplish tomorrow? The role of the teacher is not to cover. The role of the teacher is to uncover. So this is what I wanted to share. I'm sure the session has helped you understand classroom management strategies. And I will now stop sharing my screen so that I can be visible to you all. Just a minute. Yes. Trina, thank you so much
Thank
for giving me
you.
an opportunity. We are here. If you feel, we can take a few questions.
I think our comment section was, low is actually loaded with comments. Even after the activity, there were few comments coming. I'll just try to highlight few.
Yeah, please, please.
If you can read it on your screen, is it visible on your screen?
Yes, an effective teacher is the one who is able to meet the needs of all the learners. Absolutely right. Very valid point, flexible and adaptable.
I think
Or
we
somebody
missed
has a
few.
wonderful session. Have I missed? Have I missed?
No, no, actually, after the activity was over, we were still having comments coming. So I was just trying
Okay.
to highlight few of them.
Okay.
Effective teacher, as there was a question, who what is an effective teacher?
Okay. Raina Pinto has written, an effective teacher is a figure who lets a student express and speak out their minds freely without any inhibition. True. So encourages the students. Always staying relevant to the current times. Ranjan ma'am has written that. True. The one who engages students constructively.
So I think there's a long list to
If
go through
anyone
all
wishes to
comments.
ask any question, I am
Yes. I think if you have any questions, you can post it in the comment section. Ma'am will definitely try to answer. I think overall it was a wonderful session. When we talk about the classroom strategies, issues like paper airplanes fly across the room with students whom we have missed a lot, entire lockdown. Now the schools are reopening, and hopefully we'll have all the children in schools back again. So just one such behavior, students who are not paying attention, who are avoiding work, who are not willing to participate in anything, this actually takes the focus away from the entire class. It disturbs the entire class. So this, as you clearly explained, like how we can connect with children, we should connect with them, we should give them that much importance, and we should listen to them. And these techniques will definitely help out the teachers, I'm sure. And we really need to decide the techniques because every child is unique. They all are different. What is going to suit which strategy is something the teacher has to decide accordingly. And I think when students know what to expect from you and the teachers know what to expect from them, I think that's when we can have more, engaged and productive learners in the classroom. So I think overall it was a fantastic session, ma'am.
thank you. Thank you so much.
And yes, I can see the comments coming. Excellent session.
Thank you. Thank you
Lovely.
so much. So, Prina,
We
as
don't see
my
any questions right now.
questions coming, so
No,
perhaps
ma'am. I think
everyone.
your
Yeah, I'm
yes.
sorry. Please go ahead.
No, no. I think your session was to the point. It was on point with
Thank
everything so clear, and I hope it help. It will help the teachers out there. And I would request everyone to share this with all your teachers who can use these techniques in the classroom, if at all. And yes, definitely you all are facing this problem. So overall, wonderful session, awesome session. I think I can't stop. The comments are coming on and on.
you.
So thank you, ma'am, and thanks to
Thank you.
all the viewers for participating in and giving your productive feedback and making it more interactive and fun.
And over here, I would just like to share one sentence with all the viewers and all my entire fraternity of teachers that every teacher, grows and blossoms in a particular way. So, similarly, every child also grows and blossoms in a particular way. And I am really thankful to, of course, my school, which has given me an opportunity to come onto this platform, which GETI has given me. So a big thank you. I could live those days of my classroom management, and I could understand that even though we are not physically, we don't physically need to handle the classrooms today, but in the virtual classroom also there are a few techniques which we have shared can be utilized. So thank you, Prina.
Thanks to you,
What a
ma'am.
great
Pleasure is all ours. I think yes, these techniques, if it will help both the teacher and the students to get more out of their classroom environment.
yes,
These
yes.
effective tools. I think, and the class will be more engaged and enthusiastic. That's what all teachers want.
Yes,
So yes,
absolutely.
with
Yes.
this we come to an end. And once again, a big thanks from our entire team of Getty. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
joining in under this disruptive education movement. And thanks to all the viewers. And
Thank
stay
you to
safe, stay happy.
everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.